I wanted to show you guys what can happen to your firearms when they're out in the rain. We just got through a situation where it rained almost continuously for 5 straight days. That's pretty rough when you're living in a tent. There's a lot to deal with that. But I want to focus in today on the firearms. So I have both a rifle and pistol, which I may carry one or the other at all times out here, depending on the situation, the weather conditions, what I'm wearing, what I'm doing, whether I'm right at the campsite or if I'm a couple hundred yards away working. So both my pistol and rifle got a little bit of a workout during that time as I had to get out in it and do stuff. So first, the rifle, you can see just a bit minor. I'll try to show this as best I can. Little bits of rust starting to show on the receiver here, and then on the barrel in the magazine tube. Now, don't panic. This, I didn't ruin my rifle or nothing. This stuff, as I clean it, is going to come off. It's not a big deal. It hasn't been on there that long. So as I clean it, it's going to come off and it'll be all right. I had kept some electrical tape over the muzzle to keep rain from going down into the actual barrel. So I think that helped keep the interior of the bore clean. But yeah, it's and where you're seeing Marlin does a nice good bluing on this, so that helped it pretty good. But if you look on like this sling swivel, that's a cheaper metal because any aftermarket part you got like that is never going to be as well done as the bluing on the barrel of a nice firearm. So that kind of stuff, that's where a lot of that stuff really started rusting big time. So I'm going to see how that cleans up. It's the same thing on the rear one, but just minor things here and there. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to show after I clean it how that comes up. And then also on the pistol, you can see this is stainless slide and frame, so you see almost nothing on the stainless portion of it because it's much more weather resistant. But if you look at like the sights up here, that's not stainless, and there's little bits of stuff crud up in there starting to form on both the front and the rear. And you know, little, not shown here, but near the hammer and that, there's some areas that I really need to get in there and clean out good. So I'm going to clean them up, and we'll take a look at them afterwards and see how they look. All right, so I finished cleaning both of these, and I don't know how well the light is. I'm getting close to dark here, but everything came out nice as I expected. It cleaned up real well. None of what was there is showing anymore. And even the sling swivels, which I thought was going to be what would get a little, be permanently rusted up, actually cleaned up nice. There's a little bit of scuffing in that because it's a hinge point, so it naturally gets a little bit of abuse. But what's left on it is just what normal usage, what was there prior to the rain. So that turned out well. Same thing with the handgun. Even up the front and rear sights cleaned up real nice. So now what's just left on there is just, again, the usage from me carrying it and using it through the years. I forgot to mention the magazine earlier, but that was completely clean. That being inside the magazine well, it didn't receive any sort of rust forming or whatever, so that was good. But yeah, both of these turned out well. I'm kind of lucky about that. So anyways, I just wanted to do this video because it's, you know, You watch the movies and the video games, that never gets talked about. It just portrays people using their guns and never need to be cleaned or any maintenance done on them. But this was adverse conditions they got put through this time. I've personally never had any of my firearms put through such a torture test before as being out in the rain for 5 days like this. So it was a good learning experience for me as well. And I hope you guys can see the need that, it's not good enough to just own firearms and ammo in times of need. You also need to have a way to clean them and the know-how how to do it, be able to take care of them, because as soon as you get your tools out into even somewhat adverse conditions, they're going to start deteriorating almost immediately, and you need to be able to take care of them.